Hi, it's Carolina from Always Expect More, and today we're going to work on flying geese. You can make your flying geese with two half-square triangles put together, but I'm going to show you this method that's going to make you feel super smart. Ready? Let's get started. The flying geese block is a fun block to make. You can absolutely make a flying geese block using two half-square triangles, but this method is fun and it eliminates that extra seam down the middle. You're going to need two squares and one strip of fabric. The squares are 13 and 3/16, and the strip of fabric are 6 and 7/8. We're going to take our large squares, lay them on top of each other, and cut diagonally. To cut, simply line up the corners with your ruler and cut all the way across. If you're nervous or you feel like your fabric has moved at all, go ahead and take this side away and cut it separate. But if you're pretty confident, go ahead and just move your ruler and cut in the other direction. I had a little miscut there, so I'm going to make sure that I remove these. But if I hadn't had that miscut, I would have enough triangles for 4 flying geese blocks. This is super fun, and I'll show you why at the end. From your 6 and 7/8 strip of fabric, you're going to cut 6 and 7/8 inch squares. Whenever I can, I like to line up the fabric with my ruler and not with my mat. But sometimes I make a cut that's wider than my ruler. Ideally, I would get a wider ruler, but lots of rulers makes quilting even more expensive. So sometimes I do rely on the lines on my mat. Don't tell anyone. 5, 6. I'm making a cut that's 6 and 7/8. It's larger than my ruler, and there isn't a good 7/8 inch measurement on the mat. So I've counted 6, and this is the 7th. So now that I know that this line right here is my 6-inch line. I know that this highlighted line right here, right along here, it would be the 7/8 mark. So I line that one up with a 6-inch line on the mat, and I know that this right here will be my 7/8 to make my cut. With the large square, we cut into quarters. The small square, I'm just cutting in half. This gives me the 4 background triangles I need to make a single block. If I'm going to make 4 blocks, I need to repeat this process 3 more times. I have my 2 flying geese fabrics and my 4 background squares. I'm going to start stitching them together. Line up the bottom edge of your large triangle with a side edge of your small triangle and the long edge up against this side. You're going to have a big piece sticking out here at the top. That's perfect. You want that there. Absolutely do not try to center this so that you have excess here and at the top. You want all of your excess fabric to be all in that little pointy triangle. Using a 1/4 inch seam, stitch all the way across. Repeat with the second large triangle, sewing all the way across. Now you have 2 pieces that look like this. We need to press our fabric out. You'll notice that your fabric sticks out on the top on both your triangles. This means you've done it correctly. It should look like this. Now we're going to add the second background triangle. It'll be the same as before, lining up the bottom and the edge. But this time, you'll see you have a lot less excess up at the top. Stitch all the way across on both your triangles. Now we need to press these out one more time. You'll see we've got some crazy points going on at the top and on the sides. You can just clip these off. You can either use a rotary cutter or scissors to do this. I'll show you both methods. To use a rotary cutter, just line up the edge and clip your corners away. On these corners, you can line up a line on the bottom and a line on the side to make sure that you're keeping your block square. Scissors is very similar. Just trim off those tops and those corners. Now you have a design decision to make. Do you want your flying geese with the dark on the top and the light on the bottom? Or the light on the top and the dark on the bottom? Once you've made your decision, put them right sides together and stitch a seam all the way across. If you want your points to be perfect, aim your needle for this cross section right there. And now we press. If you press towards the top triangle, you'll reduce your bulk instead of pressing all these seams over on top of each other. And now your flying geese block is complete. But I promised you if you made 4 of these blocks, you got something different. Let me show you that now. If you make 4 of these half square triangle blocks, you can put them together, each facing a different direction. To make a different block, and this one's called a Dutchman's puzzle. So by learning one block, you've actually learned 2 blocks at the same time. That wasn't so hard, was it? Be sure to follow us for more quilting updates, leave any questions or comments below, and thanks for watching.